Rev up your engines!
Well, now there's mass layoffs at the Stellantis plant in Detroit, and the workers say, we have a right to our jobs. Well, I hate to tell you, but the capitalist society doesn't work that way. Stellantis is in deep doo-doo because they make crappy products that fall apart, that aren't what people want. You can't just keep making these things. We, as consumers, have a right to pick what we want. And when we don't buy the cars, guess what? You're not going to be building them because people don't want to buy them, and the company will go out of business. They've been making bad decisions at Chrysler for so long, it makes your head spin. I mean, the government bankrolled them when they went bankrupt years ago. And then the workers saying, we have a right. No, you don't. There is no right. If a business fails, guess what? You don't have a job anymore. That's how it works. And Stellantis is in deep trouble because it's a European company. They don't care about the United States, right? Now these people are whining, oh, it's a foreign company. They don't care about American workers. Yes, they don't. You hooked your buggy up to the wrong horse. Now it's a European horse. They don't care. They're just out to make money. They don't. What a lot of people don't understand is car manufacturers aren't in business to make cars. They're in business to make money. And if they don't make money, they'll shut the factories down that don't make money. Concentrate maybe on more European cars. Hey, the Europeans are nuts. A bunch of them bought those Fiat 500s. Here in the United States, it was a massive failure, right? So maybe they should just stay in Europe and not mess around with it. Maybe they should have never bought Chrysler, right? Kind of like a hot potato. Who's got Chrysler? Mercedes, I got it. Oh, it's burning. Give it to Fiat. Oh, it's burning. Give it to Stellantis. Yeah? It's like the hot potato nobody wants. And if you're working for that hot potato company, guess what? Your job is not guaranteed. Well, General Motors is continuing on their lying ways. They're trying to tell us we're buying all these electric cars, right? Now, originally they said in 2024 that by mid-2024 they're going to have 400,000 electric vehicles by mid-2024. The end of 24 is coming up. They haven't sold half that much, right? But here's the lies coming out of them. I always love it. Mary Barra, the CEO, who loves telling lies about things, always read the fine print, says, we remain on track to produce and wholesale about 200,000 GM branded EVs this year. To produce and wholesale. Read the fine print. That doesn't mean consumers are buying them. That's retail, baby. They're saying we're building them, then we're wholesaling them out to our dealers who can't sell the things. They don't mention that, right? I got a friend that works at a GM dealership, and he said, they keep trying to tell GM, please don't send us any more electric cars. We can't sell them. People don't want them. Ask the average person, do you want to buy an electric car? Most of them will scratch their head and say, nah, not really. I don't trust driving and range anxiety. And hey, they just started making them. What if it falls apart and I'm stuck with some pile of crap, right? So what does Mary say? Produce and wholesale. Yeah, wholesale. Realize one thing. It was wholesale to them from GM. They don't own the car. The bank owns the car. Almost every dealership is working on floated loans from a bank. So say they got a $40 million loan from a bank or whatever. They buy all these cars. They're paying the bank every month, just like you. They got to make that monthly payment. And these dealerships don't want these electric cars sitting on there month after month after month. So they got a car sitting there for 6 months. They made 6 payments out of their own pocket, not out of the person they sold it to. And that's why old Mary says 200,000 produce and wholesale out. Let's get into the truth, Mary. How about retail them out? Let's see who's going to retail, because nobody's buying the stupid things. Drive down the road like I do. Count them. You're not going to see that many electric cars unless you live in yuppie land like Franklin, Tennessee, where I've seen Teslas all over the place, or, La La Land or New York City, with people with so much money they don't know what to do with it, right? The average American is not buying an electric car. Well, Elon Musk is going to show off his robo-taxi idea. Then it'll put all the Uber people out of work. We'll take over. We'll drive them, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Elon's talking through his hat again. He promises more stuff that never comes out. One, he doesn't have a working robo-taxi out there, right? Number two, everything he's promised has been a bald-faced lie. He told people 10 years ago, you can buy a Tesla. It'll increase in value, and it will drive people around. So when you're sleeping, it'll make you money. Does any of that come to fruition? No, of course it didn't. They're worth nothing now. Pfft. used Teslas are cheap and they're not driving people around while you sleep and making you money. Don't listen to the nonsense this guy's. I can't wait to see what he does when he pushes this out. Because as far as I know, he doesn't have any real robo-taxis that are even working. What's he going to have, a cardboard cutout or something of it? Just like, his Cybertrucks are going to be 40 grand now. They were about 100 grand up. Don't listen to a word this guy says. He's living in La La Land because he's got so much money. What does he care? Now, to begin with, one, is it a good thing? No, it's a horrible thing. A lot of people make money driving as Uber and Lyfts, right? These people either get extra money for their families or that's their full-time job. Why should you take the jobs away from these people, right? Why? So you can put 80 grand in Elon Musk's pocket to buy these taxis? Of course, that's what he wants people to do. But seeing his list of failures that he's got going on, including this boring tunnel in Las Vegas, I wouldn't put much faith in the stuff that he's talking about, especially when he's talking about the future. Ari Patel says, I want some first car buying advice. I'm looking at an 07 Lexus 460 V8 with 73,000 miles for $14,500 with no accidents, or 2017 Acura TLX 3.5 with 24,000 miles for $24,000, no accidents. As you find out, used cars are getting kind of expensive. That's just the way it goes. But if you're going to think about between those two for your first car, I would definitely go the Acura, because the Acura has a V6. It's only got 23,000 miles, and they're really well-made cars that don't have too many problems till they get really old. The Lexus, on the other hand, is the V8 Lexus. I do not advise people to buy used Lexus V8s. Pretty well-made, but as they age, the V8s cost a fortune to repair. And that's an 07. That is an 18-year-old car. I wouldn't buy it. If that had been a 300 series Lexus with a V6, I'd say, yeah, I'd get that. What the heck? It's still got a lot of life left in it. And it costs $10,000 less than the other car. The V8s cost a fortune to fix, and they do break when they get older. 18 years old, I would definitely go for the 2017 Acura TLX. They're excellent vehicles. I just checked out a brand new one. It was a great vehicle. The thing is, not that many people are buying sedans anymore. I try to talk them down with a little bit of money because sedans aren't that popular. SUVs are, but that's what I'd go for. I wouldn't buy the Lexus in that case. Well, if you think you have problems keeping your fleet of cars going, maybe you've got some teenage kids, you got 3 or 4 cars, well, a guy in Saudi Arabia's got you beat. He's got over 3,000 cars. Now, they call him the Rainbow Chic. You might look it up. Because one time for some wedding, he had a bunch of Mercedes all painted in all the colors of the rainbow. And theoretically, they said they shut down Mercedes production while they were making his and painting them all these crazy colors. So you might think Jay Leno has a bunch of cars. Well, he's a piker compared to this Arab guy. 3,000 cars. Now, I say it's kind of overkill, but I'm sure he's an oil sheik, so he's got money coming out of his ears. He didn't know what to do other than buy 3,000 cars. Kind of shows you, just because people have money doesn't mean they have common sense. They get a little bit carried away with their fixations, like, I just got to get that car. Oh, I'll get that car. Now I got to get another car. You can imagine the money the guy spent. I can understand that Canadian guy in the Rust Brothers TV show, right? He's like 500 cars, but they're all kind of junky. And he tries to fix them up one at a time, right? Well, this guy's got 3,000 of them, and they're already fixed up. He just likes spending money. He's got that giant off-road one that's way up in the air with giant wheels. The guy's out of his mind, obviously, right? To have 3,000 cars, there'd have to be something wrong up there. Well, here we go with old Elon promising one thing and doing another. Well, now his axe is up again in Brazil. Remember, the Brazilian government said, we're shutting it down because you're saying bad things on it. You're allowing people to say bad things. Well, he's done a 180, old Elon, and he now resumes service because he bent to the demands of the Brazilian court. He said he was going to fight it, blah, blah, blah. Well, rubber hits the road. No. Brazil's Supreme Court cleared X to resume service in the country Tuesday after they reversed course and started complying with the court's rulings that billionaire owner Elon Musk had previously vowed to fight. Well, he's not fighting anymore, right? Now, I've met people that started websites and they said, join our website. We're never going to censor anybody. We can have left people, centrists, right wing. We'll have them all. We'll never censor anything. Well, and then you find out that, the biggest website that they got to join them, later they threw them off for political reasons because there was a political hot cake. It was about supporting the police. And then things got nasty and they took the guy off. Hey, they promised, oh, don't worry, we'll never take you off. And then la-da-da, a little political pressure, and whoosh, out the door the guy went. So you can't believe what these flim-flam guys tell you to begin with, because they're a load of hot air. They'll do anything to try to make money for themselves. After all, at one point in time, Elon Musk was the richest man in the world, so his scheming obviously worked for him. Just don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, because he's ready to turn tail and go in the opposite direction when it's convenient for him. And in this case, hey, he gets his platform going, and they were going to fine his satellite system to get money to pay the fines that he was going to pay. And he did agree to pay some fines, too, on top of it. So, hey, don't listen to what these people say. See what they actually do in the real world and follow it from the past to the present. That's why you got to study history. Because if you don't study history, guess what? History will repeat itself, and you'll wonder, what went wrong? Why is this thing all screwed up? Yeah, because it was screwed up years ago, and they're doing the same thing, and you fell for it. Learn from history. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.